Power Rangers, so should be a pretty hard challenge for either of those teams should they make it through. I'm Mike Loris, I'm going to be one of your casters. I'm joined by Coucher for a little bit, but I don't know how long he's actually going to be able to stick around.
Well, I'll probably be around for about 40 or so minutes. Maybe it will actually be enough to get the game to the end of it, but we'll see. But mYi starting with a Legion commander. I have to say, I myself have not had the pleasure to cast that hero, I think, more than once. And even then it was kind of lackluster in performance, so I'm just hoping mYi have a proper draft to just kind of revolve around Legion.
Yeah, we see the Legion commander usually played in the off lane most of the time. I think it fails, but I don't know. I'm waiting for the day where Legion commander is just running the entire game. I don't know if it's going to be this one because Skywrath Mage, Brewmaster is the opening for Denial. I mean, obviously these two heroes are very strong individually, but they're also very good against Legion commander. If you blind her with the Drunken Haze, or if you drop a Mystic Flare on her, then suddenly she's not going to be doing much damage in a duel. She will always have overwhelming odds as an annoying tool, and press the attack is certainly very annoying to deal with. Eliminating crowd control is fairly unique among heroes, but still, it might be a little bit tough for the Legion. And for the record, guys, we might be dropping the stream occasionally as OBS does not want to cooperate with me today, so my apologies. I have no way of getting around that.
It's really not OBS not cooperating with you, it's more that OBS is not cooperating with VSFX since it's getting like buffer overloaded or something, which makes OBS crash. So it's not on our end, that's all you have to say.
Yeah, don't blame me, blame everyone else except for me. That sounds good. Sounds good to me. Okay, Legion Commander Viper. Going to be the opening for mYi. I mean, I guess with Legion, you kind of want to just play this a little bit more of an aggressively slanted game, as she does excel when she's snowballing. Viper's a hero that can do that, and a couple of aggressive heroes being banned out from Denial, or by Denial rather. So they are on board with what mYi are going to try to do with kicking out the Batrider Centaur, and mYi going to take out the Treant Wraith King. Of course, he's going to pave the way for an Io. This is going to be a very interesting game. Who do you think is going to be the partner?
I'm hoping for Chaos Knight, but that pretty much never happens, unfortunately. I would just love to see that old combo again. I think, like, more common Tiny is always going to be good, pretty much. I think you yourself casted that one game where a Legion commander actually dueled a Tiny, and the Tiny just ended up with an Ultra kill.
Yeah, that happened.
I mean, the Tiny is just such a strong combo, and it has the potential to just take you to the pretty much the latest stages of the game if need be, just because Tiny wrecks everybody backed up with the Eye Overcharge.
Wrecks all your heroes, and then after he does that, or even without having to do that, he'll go ahead and wreck your buildings. Once he has the Aghanim Scepter and once he has Overcharge, things get really painful. And up against Legion, if you're dueling, Craggy Exterior is going to be truly a nuisance. So that could be where Denial are going to look to head on with their lineup. No huge reason to pick up the Tiny outside of that, aside from just the raw power of the hero and the burst damage that he has. But we have been seeing a lot more of Io Phantom Assassin, which is also becoming a lot cooler. Io Sven is semi-viable. Io Bristleback has been seen quite a bit. So Denial, though they probably are going to go for the Tiny, they do have quite a few options. As mYi, they actually are the ones to pick up the Sven.
Well, is this a core Sven here, though? Because if it is, it pretty much has all of mYi's cores now locked down already. And I'm just not too sure how good a core Sven will be without Io, for example, to just back him up. Warcry, yes, it gives you some extra movement speed, but it doesn't last all that long, to be honest, and still with an Io just helping somebody else maybe run away from you, for example. Viper, of course, slows everybody down as well, so it might be enough. And, well, still, I would actually like to see it more as a core, as a support Sven, just because support Sven, his mana pool is way too awful.
I'm not a terribly huge fan of support Sven. Like, I feel like if you want a stun, then there are better heroes to pick up with stuns. If you want a tanky hero with a stun, then probably Alchemist is going to serve you a little bit better, but I don't know. Usually when I see Sven, I assume core until I see otherwise, and I don't think this is going to be any different. I mean, he's going to have to go up against, again, Drunken Haze from the Brewmaster, which is going to be absolutely crippling to the mYi side, as they're pretty heavily right-click reliant, and though they do have some pretty good spells, it's really in the physical right-clicks where they do the damage, and with the Sven pickup, the Tiny gets just so much better for Denial. Again, Craggy is just increasing with value as these picks go on.
Craggy Exterior, such an annoying spell to deal with in your melee and, or even ranged heroes if you get close enough. And also, it just gives you base armor anyway. So it's all in all a pretty nice spell to have. Denial though. Will they pick it up? They're going for a Bristleback at the moment. It doesn't mean that that's the partner for IO by any means yet, although it can be if they want to. Just at the moment, is it gonna be something like IO +1 in the mid lane, Brewmaster, Skyref safe, and just bristle off?
That could be it. Usually I'm inclined to say that Bristleback IO is going to be the partnership. I think it's strong enough to make that assumption, but of course it doesn't have to be the case. Bristleback is an okay hero in this situation. Again, with Sven's Warcry armor is going to be very high on my Insanity, so that isn't really going to get that much value, but my Insanity actually go for a rather old school lineup, with the exception of Legion Commander, of course, but Viper, Sven, Crystal Maiden now for them. I mean, they are fairly mana reliant. All of these heroes are going to be very happy that they have that aura for them. She's not going to have a great time versus what Denial have, though. Like, Denial, they are fairly tanky, or at least the heroes that you worry about are fairly tanky, and they're easily able to get into the face of Crystal Maiden. And that's not a good combo if you're a CM.
To be honest, I think this is the second CM I see today already. So I'm pretty happy about that. That hero is pretty good. I would just love to see maybe a little bit of a movement speed buff on her or something. But other than that, all is good. Just mana regeneration definitely gonna help out Sven. It's gonna be so key. But Jakiro will be the last pick for Denial. We've seen a crap ton of just core Jakiros over the past couple of months. Will this be one of them? It kind of has to be, right? Since otherwise it's Skyref core.
Yeah, I think when you compare Skyreth core and Jakiro core, in this scenario, Jakiro core seems a little bit more viable, as with Bristleback and Brewmaster, Denial will really be able to stick it to my Insanity in the mid game. Like when their Brewmaster gets the Blink Dagger, when their Bristleback is always going to be tanky, then they're going to start looking to group up as 5 and push things with Liquid Fire, or push up as 3 and then have IO Bristleback presumably waiting in the wings to relocate in. So I think that's more likely what Denial Esports are going to try to go for, but it could be a little bit of a switcheroo, and really we don't have any way of telling. But I think core Jakiro seems like it's going to be the safest thing right now, and it is a hero that is going to punish the Sven Legion Commander, both being melee heroes, and Jakiro does do fairly well against melee heroes. So yeah, I like the pick up for Denial, and I don't really know what my Insanity could do in order to kind of counteract this. They have a good amount of mid-game, but I don't really know if they have enough right now.
They might not. That's the issue for them as well, but we will see. I kind of like Denial at the moment. I also, just thinking of the Magnus ban at the moment by my Insanity. If Denial had Magnus, they would have had all the lineup that Alliance used just a couple of minutes ago almost. But my Insanity going for a troll, if it's going to be a Sven support then, right? I mean, I would have actually liked to see a core Sven with the troll, just because the extra attack speed from the ultimate would have been so sick. Sven would have just been able to clear through everybody, but for Sven, man, I just hope the Crystal Maiden aura will be enough.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. That is the wrong overlay. There we go. I was just going to say that Sven Troll, that's a fantastic combination if the Sven was getting core amounts of farm. However, when he's support, he's not going to be able to do that much with the attack speed. Like, obviously, God's Strength always makes you hit decently, but you really want to be hitting hard, and otherwise your Sven is going to feel a little bit underwhelming. Now, the Troll, other than that, is going to be pretty decent. I mean, Legion Commander does benefit a good deal from that, as does the Viper, but I don't know. I feel like the Sven is just the odd one out right now. I mean, him and CM, they've been roaming together since the beginning of time, so they might be able to get a lot done, and if they do, then really draft weakness or not, then they're going to be able to have a decent impact on this game. But we're going to see if that actually comes to fruition, as the team is going to load up to the lanes. On the My Insanity side, we got Zmai playing the Viper, going up towards top. Hatawa, I believe, is Victor. On the Crystal Maiden, Lizard is going to be playing the support Sven. That leaves Milan, Legion Commander, over towards mid. I haven't seen this in a while. Grazine is going to be the last hero, playing the Troll Warlord, down bottom on the safe lane.
And for Denial, Choral will be playing the Bristleback on the safe lane, leaving Cryo J on the IO with fucking Mad on the Skyref. Mid lane taken up by Fonzie, and the last one, Paris, I think should be Shokska. Unless they have actually a new player called Paris, but it's gonna be a Shakiro offlane.
Yeah, I think at this point he's just Paris. Like, he hasn't been Saksha in quite a long time, and Troll Warlord has actually found himself a haste rune. This is not good for the Jakiro. He's trying to duel, but I don't think this is actually going to work out. If Troll Warlord gets lucky with bashes, or even if he doesn't, this might be first blood. Hit him. Dean, stop running around and hit him. There we go. Yeah, this is going to be first blood, even if he doesn't get any bashes.
Does he want to dive the tower? Oh, the bash! It was such a good timing as well, just before the tower healing cell. Paris, run! One more! Oh god. If he hadn't gotten the bash, I think Jakiro would have escaped, or at least the troll would have died in return as well.
Yeah, I mean, he got 2 bashes there total. I feel like that's about par for the course, or that should be about expected value for the troll. So I think 9 times out of 10 in that situation, he will not get completely screwed over by RNG, and he will get that kill. And that's going to be a very handy kill for the troll. I mean, obviously, first blood is never a bad thing to have, but troll versus Jakiro, it's not terrible for the troll, but the liquid fire harassment is definitely going to be stacking up, and Troll Warlord doesn't really have any great ways to sustain through that. He does have a magic stick, expecting a bristleback matchup, so Grazine is going to be ill-prepared to deal with this Jakiro moving forward. This will constantly take a lot of chip damage. Gonna give him a nice little advantage there. Most of the action is probably going to happen up towards the top lane, as mid should be fairly even, I would say.
It probably should as well, yeah. Legion Commander mid lane, I've seen it a couple of times. I've seen it actually more than off lane, but I haven't seen too many Legion Commanders anyway, so hopefully he's gonna do fine enough so far. 6-1 compared to 6-0. You definitely want to get that fast level 6 if you can, but will he just start roaming around early, get a TP, and just be ready to react versus TP to other lanes and set up kills, just start tracking up the bonus damage early?
That's always what you kind of want to do with Legion Commander. In this game, I don't know if he needs to. I mean, top lane, Viper, Sven, Crystal Maiden, they have this lane completely on lockdown. Like, if you look at the Bristleback, he's level 1. He's gotten level 1 in his namesake skill, so he's not looking to be aggressive. He just wants to not die, and the IO, unfortunately, can't really help him do that in this game. Scarth Mage will always be able to poke and prod, but he won't really be able to get that much done with it, so it's really up to Denial to rotate up and help this top lane, because if anyone gets hit with the stun from the Sven, then I'm pretty sure they're just dead, especially if it's a Skywrath Mage. He does not want to be anywhere close to this Sven. That's a very dangerous situation for Denial. So this top lane is definitely not going well for them. And when you have an IO and a tri-lane, it's probably not going to go well for you, probably 80% of the time.
Most likely not. Just IO Skywrath overall can't do all that much. Yes, Skywrath still is going to have a pretty nice amount of burst if need be. But not against the Viper, you just can't really burst him down, at least not with the heroes you have. Bristleback wants to go for those just sustained, prolonged fights as well. Get the quill sprays to stack up. So this tri-lane, hugely successful so far. 11-2 on the Viper compared to a 5-0 Bristleback. So they're doing well. Mid lane, still pretty even. Bottom lane, Troll sitting on 10-2 compared to Jakiro's 13-3. Of course, Jakiro should have the upper hand in lane anyway, I think. Just the more points you get into Liquid Fire, the better your time is going to be.
We were talking, oh wait, hold on, top lane, it's going to be a stun onto Joral. Do they not have enough damage? It looks like they don't. They stacked up the Frostbite and the Hammer so that it didn't actually chain disable, so that could have potentially been a kill, although I don't really know if they had enough anyway. We were talking a lot about how we both really don't like support Sven, and this support Sven, though he has not been farming, he actually hasn't been playing too aggressively, and oh my god, my OBS just disconnected again. This is not good. Okay, he hasn't actually... And it completely crashed.
Fun times, man. Fun times. What can you do when some streaming platforms do not want to cooperate with you? We're just gonna keep on going. At least people from Dota TV can still check it out. But bottom lane, Jakiro, he took some pretty heavy harassment from the troll. But I still think Jakiro, as it now, is level 5 already. Liquid Fire, just on a lower cooldown. Oh, we might get the fight at the rune though. Victor, he's in some trouble. Gonna get slowed down, but they get IO down so damn fast. Bristleback, he's not tanky enough, I think. Nice thunderclap from Fancy. Catches 2 as well. Victor still on the run. Joral gonna just chase him down as much. He wants to go for the counter kill onto Bristleback. Needs 2 more right clicks. The magic still keeping him alive. He needs his own magic stick to come on. Pop it. Viper, he does it in time, although he's still gonna be surrounded. Lizard gonna slow down by the thunderclap. And it's, I think, a 2 for 2 in the end.
I think Denial got 3 heroes there, but let's take a look. Yeah, Crystal Maiden died and came back in time. Really, that shows the difference in strength between a Legion Commander showing up in the fight for a little bit and the Brewmaster. Like, a clap landed on a crap ton of people, and in Sven, Crystal Maiden, if they're going on the aggressive, then they're going to be fantastic heroes. But if they're going to be, very close to the enemies and kind of brawling it out, Crystal Maiden especially does not like that, and Sven, who gone for level 2 Warcry, so he's not going to take that much damage, but really he wants to get in and out very quickly, and he doesn't want to stand in those prolonged fights with the amount of farm that he has right now. So not surprised, actually, that Denial took that fight. Even though they did lose their IO so very early on, they survived with all the rest of their heroes, and really Io's not going to be happy about that. He would have loved to get closer to his level 6, but hey, what are you going to do? It's still going to be a one fight for Denial. Killing off the Viper, probably the most crucial. Bristleback's tankiness cannot be understated.
The Bristleback was there for so long as well, just spamming the quill sprays, whereas Viper, he was a little bit late to the party. So maybe making a slight difference there as Grisine. He had to back all the way home on the Troll Warlord. He went through the jungle as well. But he's back on the lane now, has picked up a headrest, so he's going for the mech troll, it looks like. What are your opinions on that?
I think with the new nerf to mech and that it costs a lot more mana, Troll probably doesn't want to be spending mana for it. If he is going to be going for power treads, and since he does have the Crystal Maiden aura, I feel like in this game, you could probably get away with it, but he's on the same team as a Viper, and I think Viper could probably get away with the mech a little bit better than Troll can. 1 intelligence growth per level is not too great.
Oh, look at fucking Matt coming in with the Invis rune. Crystal Maiden probably priority target, or easiest target to just go for, burst him down. But they're backing off already. Did they see the Invis getting picked up? I'm not too sure if it was on the bottom side or top. I guess it must have been top.
Yeah, I think it's top also. So they backed off very easily, and you don't really do that if you don't expect something that should be coming. So fucking Matt, unfortunately, is not going to get anything done with this rune, but he's already level 4, so he's now going to continue on with the invisibility and join up now with Funzy and look towards the bottom lane, it seems. Now this one, my Insanity do not see coming. This is Brewmaster, now level 7, so his clap split is going to hurt, and he does have full mana, so he has enough for both. If Grisine gets caught with anything right now, then he's going to die. Concussive shot or a clap, and it looks like it'll be both. Okay. I don't think it really matters. I don't think Grisine has anything that he could do.
I highly doubt it as well. He should die just so damn fast. Primal Split, whoop, Fancy. He already activated the Primal Split. I'm not too sure why. You would definitely want to go for Thunderclap first, just because you might actually lack the damage otherwise. Michakiro is coming in as well, but is the Primal Split just first necessary?
I think most of the time here you're going to use Primal Split, but I think he's like pretty much already in Thunderclap range, especially with the concussive shot, so I think it's probably a mistake to do this. I guess thankfully for the pause, Funzy will be able to reconsider, jam that stop button and use clap first, but okay, here's the question. So we have Grisine, and he's in quite a bit of trouble. He does have 1000 HP. For a troll, he's pretty tanky. My Insanity, they do not have TPs on their Legion Commander. Viper does not have one either. So only Crystal Maiden Sven can come in, and they can't actually do anything to a Brewmaster and split. So I think despite this pause, and despite my Insanity's extra time that they have to plan, I think just the Brewmaster and Scarlet Mage are going to get this kill before any reaction from my Insanity.
I think the TPs would take too long anyway, probably. Troll, not the most tankiest of heroes. Well, having said that, I just see that he has power trace as well, so makes it a lot more difficult for him to actually die. But we'll see, the game gets unpaused. Come on, Fancy. He's not gonna go for it. There's the concussive shot, silence to follow, Thunderclap as well. Down to half HP, Sven, he gets the stun. Nope, it's not there in time. Grisine Boulder Toss. He's gonna be burned down by Parasite thing. Yes, he is. Liquid Fire is gonna be enough, and Sven, can they get him Boulder Toss? Another Liquid Fire, and my god. He just burned so fast.
As promised, Sven Crystal Maiden weren't able to do that much. Funzy, with that extra pause time, he actually benefited quite a bit. And usually when the enemy pauses like that, it's you getting on the short end of the stick. But hey, he had time to cancel that, get the clap, and that turned out to be the difference. If he just used the split straight after, pretty sure the Sven wouldn't have committed there. So the Brewmaster ends up getting 2 instead of just getting 1. So pretty nice circumstances for Denial, and using your first split doesn't really get much better than that. I mean, it also bought a lot of time for top lane. They got a lot less pressure, so Dry as well as Creo, they're going to be very happy with the fact that they have to deal with 1 less support for however long.
Oh god, you are so spot on. It shouldn't have TP'd in, or if maybe both of them. I'm not too sure if it would have made a difference other than Denial maybe getting just a 3rd kill as well there. But 5-3 Denial, looking pretty good. Although, looking at just the last hit chart, all the Mindset heroes are farming a little bit better than those of Denial, especially the Bristleback is struggling so hard. Although, Viper himself, he's been solo on this top lane for quite some time now, whereas there has been a dual lane, Io and Bristleback. But I guess Io and Bristleback, they just can't do too much to a Viper.
this is not a dual lane that Denial can or should win. So the Viper just getting a little bit of support to get himself bumped up in levels and getting a little bit of lane control is now firmly in control of the lane. And mYi are going to rotate a couple up here. Funzy does have a Blink Dagger. It is going to very quickly be cancelled, but they can't go in on this one. So now Denial know that the Legion Commander is here. I don't believe they know that anyone else is here, although they probably have an inkling. Milan is still going to look to initiate something, as he does have a duel, and I don't think he used it so far. Unfortunately, I don't think top lane is going to be the place to use it. They are pressuring back the Bristleback pretty decently, like they're not letting him farm, but he's playing in such a way to avoid getting kills, or avoid getting killed.
Oh man, so at the moment, Denial, everything's going in the favor of them almost. Oh, what did they just... Did they post an illusion?
No, they jumped on Viper top and he teleported out. But bottom lane, Paris is going to be the one in trouble. Ice Path is going to land on Grazine just on the edge. And that's going to be Troll, denied his kill. Unfortunately for him, I guess, a little bit unlucky on the low rolls, or I guess a little bit unlucky on the bashes, potentially.
And he's still staying around. Yes, Tranquil Woods. Oh, Macropyre, it's just barely far enough for the melee creeps. So he's going to slow down the push at the very least. My Insanity, do we have any key item pickups coming out from them? Mech is gonna be finishing about 700 gold for Grazine. And other than that, absolutely nothing, I guess. 1.4k on Milan, so going for the Blink Dagger, that's gonna be key on the Legion.
Yeah, once he has that, then he's going to start to get duels actually casted, if not just completely won. The Viper doesn't actually have much indication where he's going to be going towards, although I wouldn't be surprised to see like a very standard Aghanims. He could go for something like Yasha into Manta style. That wouldn't be too terrible this game either. Really, my Insanity, they're doing pretty well in lane, but they don't want to really mess with this. Their bottom lane is doing just fine. Legion Commander's getting quite a bit of farm, and Viper's dominating this lane. So, though they could make rotations, and you know it's always going to be useful if you do, the status quo as it stands right now is going to be benefiting them. It's Denial that have to move around, and without a relocate on their IO, moving around is going to be pretty difficult.
Oh, it most certainly is. IO, at least he's only one level short, although 11 minutes in usually you would love to be your IO level 6, if not more even. But this first relocate gank for them, it's actually not as crucial for them since they've been having some pretty nice rotations as it is. They are still behind in the net worth about 1000 XP, more or less even, just a 100 lead or so for my Insanity. And of course Brewmaster, he's had the blink for a couple of minutes now, I believe. Yet to use it to some great effect though.
Picked it up right after he cleaned up on the bottom lane, and he used it once to initiate on the Viper, but no stuns means that a quick TP away is going to be the best way to go for the Viper. Once again, sorry for all the crashing and stuff, guys. Obviously, it's out of my control, and hopefully you're still with us. Hopefully you're on the ticket, and that is not going to concern you at all. So, yeah, just bear with us. There's nothing really we could do.
Sometimes there are technical difficulties that we have no control over because we are just the casters and they kind of dictate to us which platform we have to use, unfortunately. So here we are. At least the game gonna be up on the walls, maybe, hopefully. We'll see, but oh, they get the start on the fucking match. Skyrmage. Is it gonna be an easy kill? The slow comes out from the whirling axis. Grazine runs out of the Mystic Flare. Mech comes out as well. I think they're gonna kill Skyrim, or are they? Dual breath. It just slows them down so much, although Paris might be in trouble. Never mind. Blink, Thunderclap. Boulder toss from the Primal Split, and easy kill on the Toll. Yeah, that's the Brewmaster came.
Now they're going to set up for the Sven as well. They're going to dispel him right into no Ice Path, actually. Just another Boulder. Now Lizard is in quite a bit of trouble. He's going to get healed up by the Legion Commander, however, did not debuff that Ice Path. The overwhelming odds going to hit pretty hard onto the Jakiro. Now, this is going to be a one duel by Milan, but in the meantime, they do lose their Sven. Still fucking Mad and Funzy in the area, and I don't really know what happened up top. Holy crap, what happened up top? Did Viper just 2v1? I think that just happened.
It did. Bristleback, he got the kill onto the Viper before he died himself, so Viper didn't get the XP for the Bristleback kill, but yeah, just 2v1, a little bit too strong. IO, of course, if he had been the one to die to the Crosage skin after getting the kill himself, he would have been level 6, but oh, Fancy gonna get slowed down. Crystal Nova is there as well. If you right-clicks Grazine with the Crystal Maiden, they get up, just clean up the kill. So 7 to 8. Mindset not looking bad at all, especially considering that Legion has his Blink Dagger and another 1.6k on top.
Snipes the Scarif Mage with an overwhelming odds, and now he has another duel, and Doral is actually completely stuck. Macropyre is not going to dig him out, so Yeah, this Bristleback is just dead. He's going to try fighting up against Milan, but now the duel, I think a little bit late. No, it's not going to matter. He's going to go down in the end. The rest of mine standing right behind them. They're going to hit with an Ice Path, but there's no real follow-up to this. Mystic Flare not going to be thrown just yet. Now it's going to be thrown onto the Viper, doing quite a bit of damage. Doesn't move out of it. Fucking Mad, though, is going to take a lot of damage. He will go down. Now the Stormhammer from Lizard. Going to drop Paris very low, but he will survive enough to throw an Ice Path onto Milan. Funzy has jumped right back in for. That's going to be 2 going the way of Denial. Can they make it 3? Lizard doesn't have a TP, and he's running the wrong direction if he wants to escape. He's going to go down. I don't think he had any way of living anyway. And that's going to be a 2 for 3. Actually, Scarth Mage forced buyback. I think probably worth it, even though he did die. He got quite a bit of involvement in that buyback.
Oh god, that fight. It was so long, at least it felt like it. My Insanity, they dove way too deep. Getting the Bristleback kill and getting it with a duel is nice for sure for Legion, but they gave away just pretty much all they gained from the last fight. So in the end, kind of a wash there. Denial still looking good, and wow, I do not like this pickup at all, Viper. He went for a Vanguard.
Well, I could see where he's going with this one. Obviously, he doesn't need to go for the mech, so that's off the table. He knows that Denial are going to want to be fighting about right now. Like, this is when Denial are going to be turning up the aggression, and they're probably not going to stop. And when you have that, you really want to be able to survive and use Viper's inherent high damaging capabilities in order to get things done. So, much like the mech on the Troll, ordinarily I would say Vanguard on Viper, pretty bad. You should probably try to avoid it. But in this game, against what Denial have, I could understand where he's coming from. I'm not going to say it's good. I'm going to say it's understandable, and yes. Hopefully that's good enough for them.
Okay, it's understandable. That again I agree with him, but looks like my Insanity, they're gonna lose a tower here. Crystal Maiden, he showed himself, but Denial, they didn't go aggressive immediately, which I thought they're like, oh, Crystal Maiden, just dive the tower since tower is gonna die anyway. And Paris, he already has himself the Evil Scepter, so Jakiro, he's gonna be self-sufficient in just setting up the Ice Paths and Macro Fires.
That's a dangerous thing. The dots and the damage that Jakiro can put out is going to be really intense, and, well, my Insanity, they're pretty tanky towards it. The mech is certainly going to help. The longer Jakiro survives the fight, the better it'll be. They're going to go for top lane. Viper already being split upon. No Mystic Flare or anything like that. He probably will just walk out of here. Jarrell's in the middle of this as well. They're going to throw a boulder over to the Crystal Maiden. In fact, is like he crashed OBS once again. Bunzy returns back to his true form, but it's going to be Jarrell in a lot of trouble. Mystic Flare is going to land, as well as the Ice Path, but it's way too late to save the allies, as the Bristleback is already dead. Brewmaster, fortunately for him, is long gone from that fight, but yeah, it's perfect time to crash right before a fight, right, guys? Bristleback is the only one to go down for Denial, but they use a split and they don't actually get anything. That's the Vanguard Viper showing its value right there.
Plus, of course, Milan having himself double damage on Legion definitely didn't hurt either, and they get the tower as well. I still think Sven really hasn't had any impact at all almost. Oh, mid lane Milan might be in some trouble. Might get chased down Fancy, has to haste, of course. Thunderclap. Oh, it just barely connects. He doesn't want to use his Primal Split, never mind. It's on cooldown anyway. So this chase was fruitless.
Fortunately for them, it's not going to result in anything, and it might even result in fucking Mad going down. Duel. Oh, that cast animation. You don't normally notice the cast animation on Legion until it costs you a kill, but there it is. Decided to raise her hand to duel instead of just slapping with the glove instantly. So Legion Commander could have walked away with a little bit more damage, but already at plus 38, like, it was 10 minutes in, she had 0. She actually has recovered quite a bit as far as the duel damage is concerned. Now that she has the Blade Mail, I don't know if she's going to be losing any duels anytime soon. It's as long as she doesn't just, like, insta duel the Bristleback or the Brew, everyone else should just straight up lose.
I think it wasn't so much as the cast animation being too long that him not reacting fast enough. He went for the first right click and then tried to go for the duel, but still, they're gonna get a tower on top of this as well. They might lose the mid one, so it might be a trade, but my Insanity, they're not looking as bad, or they're not looking bad at all, to be honest. Just because Denial, they have a heavy mid-game focused lineup, and they would definitely just love to be ahead already.
Yeah, this is, again, where Denial are going to be looking to fight the most. Milan's going to charge forward, looking for fucking Mad, get silenced. Here comes Relocate, but the Blade Mail's up, and no one's going to want to go for Milan. Now, here's his Troll as well. The Relocate's not actually going to do much, as Creo's going to drop very low to Razine. In fact, this is going to be the Wisp going down with one more axe. However, the Mystic Flare does land on Razine. That will be a trade. Now the split out from Denial, but the Freezing Field from the Crystal Maiden is going to do quite a bit of damage. Not enough to actually make a difference, however, as the duel is won by the Legion Commanders. Lizard is going to be the one in trouble, as Brewmaster is still in a split. He will chase down that Sven and kill him off, but can Can he actually make it out alive? He's going to try to turn around and go for Milan, but this Legion is very difficult to bring down. Another rock is going to be thrown with an Ice Path. Milan slowly taking damage. The heals are too severe, and now he's going to turn out with an overwhelming odds. Huge damage onto Paris, plus Funzy. Milan will burn down in the end. Viper, the only one alive for mYi, will get thrown up into the air and cannot continue the chase. He will dodge an Ice Path, and it looks like that will be a disengage from Denial, but they take a kill advantage in that fight as that just lasted a little bit too long. The split from the Brewmaster really showing its value, and even though the relocates from Wisp have been pretty much completely useless, the Brewmaster is really all they need right now.
I think the key thing here was that Skyrim Mage did not get just bursted down immediately when the Legion Commander came in. He got the silence off, so no duel to get the kill there. If the Skyrim Mage had been dead, they wouldn't have been able to burst the Troll Warlord down. Troll just would have been able to get his mech off, I think, although he was out of mana for it anyway at the time, and Magic Stick was also on cooldown. So, like we discussed it earlier, overall the mech control, just the increased mana cost, it screws him over pretty badly, or at least it can.
You really want to be able to pop the mech. You want to have mech up 100% of the time. You want to be at least able to cast it. You know, whether you're disabled or something like that, that happens, but you want to have the mana yourself. So, fortunately for Troll, he's going to get burst down really swiftly, and well, he's going to go for Vlad's for the team. I love how these teams are picking up Vlad. So often we see teams just ignoring that item, but this game it's going to be on both sides, and it's going to be heavily benefiting both teams a lot, actually. I mean, Bristleback, Brewmaster, they love the item. Obviously, Troll Warlord, Legion love the Vlads as well. And we have double Crimson Guard from either side as well, so each team is going blow for blow as far as Artis is concerned, but it's going to be on the south side where Dural's going to try to go for the Pistol Man, but over towards top, it's a stun onto Funzy as Parasitin focused by Viper with the additional attack speed. That's a lot of damage onto the Jakiro, however, he will force that himself up to the high ground. Now he's going to try to poke against mY from the high ground. It will be enough, I think. The Crimson Guard plus heal, he's suddenly back up to more than half HP. Dural and the Brewmaster, they cannot fight against all these four heroes without any support. Denial need their Jakiro in the middle of this fight, but it's going to be the Brewmaster Earth Ruling to be chased down. He will blink out just in time, Funzy, and he will probably escape as Milan is going to give chase. Funzy is not going to get dueled up. He's going to escape. Denial only lose one, but the real loser right now is going to be me because my OBS just crashed again. At once again the worst time, but mYi, they win the fight, although it's a pretty scrappy one. They endure the Brewmaster ultimate, and now they're possibly going to look for a little bit more. I don't know if Denial can go without their Brewmaster ult, though.
Those Crimson Guards just giving so much sustain to the fights. Oh, the duel onto Paris though. I think they're going to get the Shakiro, or are they? Can he win the duel? Yes, he can. More damage. He pops his Blade Mail as well. Going to help out even further just to make sure that the Denial won't get the counter kill. And Joral now, he's trying to tank things up in the front lines. And Victor, he even had a pretty nice freezing field there on Crystal Maiden. But Fancy blinked Thunderclap onto Smudge. No, pressed the attack. He's suddenly fine. Going to turn it around on the Fancy as well. Crimson Guard just not going to be enough. Nice try from the Bristleback, but excellent fight for mYi now, plus most likely a tier 2.
The difference between Denial with split and Denial without split is just night and day. Like, if they had a split there, they would have been able to, at the very least, kill off the Sven and probably get one other kill besides the Sven, probably even two. So, Denial, they were kind of forced into fighting there. Like, if they didn't, they would have just lost everything, and it would have been easy for mYi to claim everything and then disengage, but when your hand is forced like that, your hand is forced, and Brewmaster without a split, not having a good time at all. So, mYi, they have the late game advantage, and this is where Denial are supposed to be winning these fights. Clearly, that is just not happening. mYi, they're tanky enough, they have enough survivability with the plus armor from Warcry, with the Crimson Guard plus the mech, and the press the attack. All this healing is so crucial for the mYi side, and when you're dealing with Dots and Jakiro, you really don't want the enemy to be healed. I mean, that's the difference between Dots and instant damage, is that you could heal through a dot, but you can't really heal through just a pure burst nuke.
To be honest, I have to say that this Legion Commander pick overall has worked out pretty good for mYi so far. He's already at 80 stolen damage, or I guess you can't say stolen, but he has gained 80 damage for himself. So extremely well done, has another 2.1k on top of that as well, and he's hurting so damn much, and of course the Vlads from Troll gonna help out even further. So like you said earlier, Vlads, great pickup for both teams, giving some extra armor as well, and really all of those fights have just been brawl fests almost.
I actually like Legion Commander here with the Crystal Maiden. I feel like the abundance of mana for the CM, or for the Legion rather, is very relevant, as press the attack, overwhelming odds. They are pretty expensive skills as far as mana is concerned, and Legion getting quite a bit of benefit from that. I don't think I've seen Legion out of mana a single time in this game. A lot of that is thanks to the Crystal Maiden. So the CM Legion combo, maybe it's going to be a thing, maybe not. For right now, they're going to try to make it a thing as they smoke up to the top lane, Blink Dagger in tow, and if they catch the Skywrath Mage with anything, then he's going to crumble, but I don't think they can. They are faster right now with the smoke, but it's going to be really close. They're going to lose their smoke and Denial. They're not going to lose anyone here. Even Brewmaster was there with Haze if things got really messy.
So 16 to 15. The graphs still in mYi's favor. About 4,000 net worth. 4k XP as well. Oh, Paris, he wants to go for the Viper Ice Path with the Macro Pyre as well. He pops his Crimson Guard just in case before. And I'm not too sure if Paris actually thought he can get the kill like that himself. I mean, that was way too hopeful, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It didn't really cost him anything, so you might as well try to force some rotations downwards and threaten the enemy. And I guess it is a potent threat. I mean, if you get initiated upon by Jakiro, it's not that bad, but when you have a Bristleback and an IO who could easily relocate in, then the potential could get a lot worse. So I understand where he was going for there. He's definitely just bluffing, but hey, it worked out in the end, so he didn't die and he didn't lose anything either. The Legion Commander is still getting bigger and bigger. Another 2,400 gold in the bank. She has a double damage rune. This is absolutely freaking terrifying. Denial, they're going to try to split push up on top as my OBS crashes yet again. I don't even know if I should bother putting it back up this time. Maybe I should just horde. That's a good idea. Wait, no, it didn't crash. Hallelujah, it's working. But top lane, it's going to be fucking mad and Funzy in a lot of trouble. They're going to split way before anything else, and now fucking mad instantly to the TP. It looks like he will be able to make it out alive, but the Brewmaster, don't know if he's going to be as lucky. His Earth One's running off to the south. Lizard going to give chase, but he has a Blink Dagger, and this Brewmaster, oh, he might blink straight into a Legion. Oh, this could be bad. He doesn't know that Legion is here. Funzy is going to blink up to the north, and he will be fine for now. Milan's going to try for the duel. Has him in vision, but he can't get the duel off. Out of range. Those trees just making him so hard to get close enough.
A really great place to blink to from the Brewmaster. I'm not too sure if he had it calculated or just he was like, oh, blink anywhere and TP out. But he escaped, so that's all that matters for him, really. And the tower also got denied. Denial still gonna get some map control out of it, and definitely gonna be happy with the tower going down at all. But nice deny from the troll in just the middle of the fight, kind of. But I was still thinking about something. Oh yeah, the Sven, man. It literally feels to me like mYi are playing with 4 heroes.
Yeah, Sven is vastly underwhelming this game. If he was an Alchemist or he was a Vengeful Spirit or any other hero with a single target stun, I feel like he'd be doing a lot better. But, I mean, Warcry is a skill that's definitely hard to evaluate the usefulness of because it is providing a very small passive effect. But I want to say that the armor is relevant. I don't know if that's true, but hey, right now it's certainly helping them take Roshan safer. It's going to be Aegis for Milan. No way that Denial can actually contest this. It's going to be a nice smash and grab, and they're going to teleport over towards mid, where Jarrell's going to get hit with the Viper Strike. He is extremely tanky, though. This is not a target you really want to go for, but they're going to try to go for it anyway. Here comes the IO to relocate out. I don't know if that was entirely necessary, but now the IO is pretty much screwed. This is actually going to be a free duel for Milan.
Oh, and duel is level 3 as well, which means, of course, 18 points of damage are going to be stolen. If they get the kill, duel, like 2 right clicks. Yeah, if was a certainty. Oh, Fancy! Oh, almost got the Lizard down, the Courier. Not to be though, so mYi with IO down. Do they go, and do they have the Aegis well, right on the Legion? So who do they go on now? Or do they go for high ground already?
mYi, they can do whatever the hell they want. Like, IO's not really a relevant hero this game. Like, Overcharge is level 3, I guess is annoying, but really as long as mYi don't group up and all get hit with everything that Denial have, like a 5-man Ice Path, they should just be fine to just chip away at this tower, as they're just so incredibly powerful right now. If they find a single opportunity, Legion Commander is going to suicidally jump in and try to use her Aegis. She now has a completed BKB on her. So once the duel happens, there's going to be pretty much nothing that Denial could do about that. And also the BKB is very soon to come onto the Crystal Maiden. She does have 2 parts out of that. So BKB Freezing Field, hearkening to times of old where she's going to lay some really severe hurt down. mYi, they're going to make a potentially decision to rotate over towards the tier 2. Or going to try to bait Denial out of their base. I think this is pretty clear though. I mean, you don't really disengage like that unless you have something planned.
It really is obvious. I mean, if Denial, they're definitely an experienced enough team to just realize this. Although Choral, he's going into his own jungle. Safest place to be since Denial. They're on the opposite side of the map, almost farming up the enemy agents. They dual stack or double stack. Maybe even stack it themselves. Didn't really spot it out, but making the most out of their time as they're waiting for nothing anyway. Viper, does he have his Manta style finished? Almost. Needs the recipe for it still. And they really could just go high ground if they really wanted to. I want to see them making something out of the Aegis. How many minutes do they actually have? Still another solid 3 minutes almost.
Yeah, I mean, wasting your Aegis is never really a good thing, but at the same time, mYinsanity have no rush at all. Like, they know that Denial have already been past their peak. Brewmaster, he might get an Aghanim Scepter, it'll make him a little bit more dangerous in a split, but for the most part, the only hero that they have to worry about in the later stages is Bristleback, and when he's just going for a full tank build, you could pretty much ignore him, or mostly ignore him and be fine with it. So the Aegis is going to most likely not get value this game, but hey, when you kill off first shot, you get a lot of golden experience as well, and that's exactly what these heroes want. Maybe this Sven is going to get an item off of this. The Troll with BKB is going to be a devastating force moving forward, so it's really up to Denial to do anything in this game, because sitting back and waiting benefits mYinsanity by a huge margin.
They for sure have the better late game. In Denial, it's not like their late game is bad, but they need to just snowball early on and make it so that the enemy won't actually reach the late game phases on the heroes. Because Bristleback, he's pretty scary if he's like 6-slotted early on, like 40 minutes in or something, but he's gonna be nowhere near 6-slotted by that time. Whereas Milan gonna keep on stealing damage, 98 points of it already stolen. He's hitting for 250, and that's just something that Denial can't really take.
Seems balanced to me. You get the start that's this great as Legion Commander, though it was a slow one. It has been very steadily increasing, and Denial, I mean, they don't really have even items to mirror this. Like, if Legion Commander was just accelerating off of Duel, she would already be in a great position, but she's getting items and dueling, whereas Denial, they just have items, and those items aren't even doing that much, so this is a very dangerous situation for Denial. It's going to be mYinsanity deciding to slowly push up the bottom lane. I like this decision for them, playing it slow and steady. No real reason to put yourself at any unnecessary risk, as mY is more than happy to tank a tower with the Crimson Guard. And then at a certain point, it's just going to be Battle Trance, and then they're going to bowl us over. Over towards mid, it is being pushed in a little bit by the Bristleback IO, but that's not really too much of Denial's concern, or mYinsanity's concern right now, is if they see anyone, they're going to get dueled, and if they get dueled, I'm pretty sure they're going to die.
I think even Bristleback would die. Oh man, the duel not to pass. They need a little bit help. Come on, get the duel win. Yes. I think it was maybe on the last second, although duel, it lasts for a pretty sick time, 5.5 seconds.
That level 1 always feels like it doesn't last at all, but level 3 you can certainly feel it. They're just going to keep on going. They use their Battle Trance to secure that duel win. Of course, going to mean that this tower push is a lot slower, but we see how slow it actually is. Tower goes down, and mYinsanity, are they going to lose anything? Funzy, fucking mad. These are not pushing heroes. They can't really do that much. They're going to lose Raxes. I think they're going to lose 2 sets. Like, Denial, the split push is great, but it's not going to be enough because you're dealing with the Troll Warlord and Battle Trance. Oh my god, that's sickening. The Mystic Flare is going to drop. Gruzina and Milan are going to split that one. Here comes Funzy straight into his ultimate. With the Crimson Guard active, they're not going to do much damage to these Brewlings, and Viper's still focusing onto the melee racks with his illusions. Lizard's going to be the one to be focused. He's going to throw a Stormhammer, which won't really do much. Now the God Strength, he's not going to get that off, but it's going to be Cryo who's going to get dueled. Once again, 134 damage on the Legion. Brewmaster plus Jor-El still running wild, but now that mY is back onto the ground in Milan, he's there too. He's going to be more than happy to stand and fight, although they're going to try to TP out. Viper's going to get hit with the Ice Path. Now going to try to turn around, and he's going to annihilate fucking man. I think the poison damage will be enough. Yes, it will. However, that will be at the cost of the Viper's life. They took down the melee racks of the over in the mid lane, and Milan now on the run. I think he should be fine for this one. He's going to press the attack with the heals. It's just way too much for Paris to deal with. And blink out from Milan. As long as he can get or break line of sight, he will be able to do it. Although turning around to fight, that seems pretty good as well with the Blade Veil. Jor-El Paris unwilling to hit him. There's the heal from Milan. He's going to burn. He's going to die, which is a little bit unfortunate as Legion Commander was on a tear. But hey, Denial, they lost so much, even though they do get a couple kills.
With Denial, they get a lot of XP from those kills just because mYinsanity, they were so far ahead. But Rax and a half behind, it's not the position you want to be in, or you can be in really for Denial. If they had gotten like one set of counter racks, one melee racks, might have been fine. I still think mYinsanity, they could have stood their ground a little bit longer. Troll just BKB'd and TP'd out there, could have stayed to fight as well just because the others did anyway. So it wasn't a unified decision or anything. Still worked out good enough for them. If they hadn't gotten the Millennium Rex, maybe it would have been a little bit more of a disaster. But all is well, and suddenly there's the Basher on Legion.
That's a freaking terrifying item. And wait, is that a Basher? No.
He actually sold it. He purchased it.
I was
and
like, does she have a Basher and 3,200 gold? That's freaking impossible. But no, she's just gonna go for what looks like Assault Cuirass. Yeah, the Assault Cuirass was on the denial side with the Bristleback. So he has an Assault Cuirass, soon to be mirrored by the Legion. You know, they're both pretty good items. I think at this point, when you're this far ahead, like, it's only 7,500 gold in experience, but they're 2 or 1.5 racks up. They can do whatever they want with their item builds, quite frankly. It's going to be a smoke up for denial, and they're going to try to find someone as Mind Sandy push up the top lane, but even if they find them right now, I don't know if they could win a team fight. Really, they're going to be 100% reliant on hitting someone with an Ice Path and then bursting them down with the Mystic Flare before BKBs can come up, and that is a very narrow timing. And it's going to be Sven to reveal all of this. He has a haste rune as well, so he's going to take the damage and run away. Oh no, here comes Relocate. Now we want to be, what? Okay, Creo's here alone. He's going to go down now. The Crystal Maiden going to charge forward with the Freezing Field. Fucking Mad is going to get annihilated with that, as will the Fire aspect and the Storm aspect as well. The Earth one is going to drop. You very rarely see Brewmaster die in his split form, but this is one of those times. Now Paris is going to be jumped upon by Milan. Fucking Mad brought back into this game, but can he really do anything as Paris is going to go down? Fucking Mad is going to die back, and Bristleback's the only one alive, getting hit with the Frostbite as well as the Storm Hammer. Got to get in front of the pig, and they will do so. And they chop him down. Need some poison attack. There's the Viper Strike. Now Joral is all but assured to go down. That's a full 5-man wipe, and that's GG called by Fucking Mad.
Oh god, so damn good for them. Excellent fight from Mindset.
Should be
that's
just about it, guys. It was a gruesome fight. Denial, unfortunately, didn't really have enough gas in the tank in order to sustain these fights. 100% reliant on the Brewmaster and Bristleback. IO, usually it's a lot more effective of a combination, but the core Jakiro didn't really provide the damage that they really needed, and the mid game fell flat for Denial's side. If you're on the ticket, thanks for sticking through this. Unfortunately, I had to stop streaming because it wasn't streaming anyway, so